got a nice one hooked. It's another one you have to have in your box if you fish any rainbow trout stocked water. And there it is. You can see that disco midge right in the corner of his mouth. Hey everybody, it's Benny P with Lively Legs Fly Fishing. I'm out on my home water today in western Pennsylvania, fishing over some fresh stocked rainbow, brown, and brookie trout. The state just came through and stocked this probably 3 or 4 days ago. I've gotten some good reports, so I decided to head on out and make a video on catching stock trout and holdover trout, which sometimes can be a little bit different than catching wild fish. Some of the flies that I like to use, and a couple that I'm going to start with today, are the brighter, more attractive flies, especially when they're fresh stocked. And I'm going to show you, I'm starting off on the top with a rainbow wide 2K, and down below that is one of my favorite for catching stock trout, and that is our pheasant tail, and that is the orange pheasant tail with the orange burnt legs, Lively Legs. That's going to be my fly selection to start the video. I will be using my Syndicate 2-weight, and a lot of people say, oh my goodness, you're going to fish with a 2-weight. Well, let me explain something about the Syndicate 2-weight. You have a nice soft tip of the 2-weight, but back on this butt section, you have the power of like a 3 or a 4-weight. Though I'm getting the nice soft tip of the 2-weight so I don't snap my tippet, I'm using 5X tippet today, I also have the power to bring that fish to me. So that's one of the reasons that we use these rods. Nice soft tip, backbone power back here at the butt end. Alright, I'm very anxious to fish, so I'm not going to keep running over my equipment. I'll add some of that as the video goes on, but let me get down to the water and we'll see. I'm going to expect some quick hookups. The stream's going to get completely loaded with people today. It's going to be close to 70 degrees, and I wish everybody luck, but I'm going to get down here. I'm going to catch some of these fresh ones right now before this stream is just packed with people and it's a little harder to film. Hey, there it is, the first one of the day, fat little chunky rainbow, and you can see that Y2K is right in the corner of his mouth. It's a way to get it started. And I was kind of lucky, I worked the short side. You always work closest to your body. You don't want to throw over top of fish if you don't need to. And I worked that short side closest to me. Nice calm drift, stayed ahead of my drift with the tip of my rod, and as soon as I saw that line pause, I don't know if you're going to see in the video or not, boom, you got to step on that hook. It's called the right now. You got to give them the right now hook set, because the difference is between flies and bait, they grab it, it tastes good, it feels good, and they gobble it for a while, sometimes swallow it. Flies, goes into their mouth, they don't like the feeling, they reject them, they spit them right out. So you have to set the hook right now. My dad always called it the right now. Give them the right now, he'd say. And the right now happens to be that hook them right now. Don't give them a chance to spit your flies. Head back down and see if I can't hook up with another. That's a nice little fat chunky rainbow to start the video. Okay, just got a call from the Big Shrive, and he said olive is the color here right now. So before I even get too into it, after catching that first one on the Y2K, I'm changing to an olive nympho on the bottom. Little, see a size 14 olive pheasant tail with the light colored Lively Legs. See how it works. This section of water right here, this little spot, is a special spot to me because this is where my daughter stood, and with help from me, caught her first fish ever on a fly rod. So my oldest daughter, this is kind of our spot together. We go out and see if this boat will give me a little bit of luck right now. And the big shroud does me some justice. Pretty looking brookie. Give a quick look at him, and you know, that fly it's way down in his mouth. Thanks, big shroud. Nice little switch up, and it works right off the bat. That's the way to start a morning. Get out here, get a nice chunky looking rainbow, and back it up with a nice looking brookie thanks to the big shroud's advice. In my spot, I call this Claire's spot. Hitting the flip button today. Another clunker looking rainbow to the net. Well, I'll tell you, that brush on the side of the creeks in Pennsylvania can be something. Another beautiful looking punky rainbow. Back in the water. That guy right there still have it on that olive pheasant tail with the light olive legs. It's been a good fly for us. So that fly just picked up a brookie, a nice looking brookie in Claire's spot, and then I moved upstream a little bit. Haven't been having a ton of success, but missed a couple, and then I hook up with another nice one. We get a lot of questions about how much weight do we use, and all of that situational. When you get to a stream and you cast in, say your first cast you may have on a small split shot, and it just rips down through there and you know you didn't touch the bottom, put another small split shot on. If that doesn't work, put another one. If that's too much, take one off. You get to one spot and it's a slower run or a slower pull, you may have to take a split shot off. You want your flies barely tinking across the bottom and go at a natural drift. If you don't have that, your flies don't look natural to the fish, and most likely they're not going to take your flies. Yeah, he said he just hit his 100th fish and he was done. I said, that's cool. Yeah, I give him credit for that. Not me. I'd be wanting to catch 100 more.
That's a nice number too.
Uh-huh.
All right.
We'll see ya.
We're down, yeah. Good luck.
Thank you. Here's one of the big ones. All right. Just got one of the big boys. I was talking to a couple of my friends, Dawn from the Trout Unlimited, and he was walking down here with his son, and we just got done saying, fish is in the water. We move the camera down this way. You know, people aren't catching many of the big ones yet. We're just going over who we know is fished here. He walks away. I cast in. I hooked that big one. Instantly, he's working me downstream, so off the camera, had to do what I had to do, but went down, netted him. He's on the olive pheasant tail with the light olive legs, and let me put this camera down and see if I can get a little video of him. Man, this big boy, look at him in the net. Almost doesn't even fit in that lively legs net. Got to be careful when you're picking these fish up. You don't want to squeeze them. And look at that guy. Big fat old rainbow trout on a lively legs pheasant tail. Okay, we're going to take one more quick look. That's a plunker. And he's off full of energy. Yes! Feels good catching a nice fish. You know, unfortunately he ran me right down the stream. The water's fast out in front of me, and Big Shrive, when he messaged me earlier, he told me the fish are sitting in the fast water, not the big deep holes. They're sitting in more of the fast runs. So that's what I've been trying to fish, and though the fishing hasn't been lights out for me, the olive pheasant tail has been lights out for me. And there goes my first plunker of the year. It's always exciting to catch a big fish. And one of the things I failed to mention earlier in the video, I was excited at Clara's hole where I caught that brookie. I did not seal my, or zipper my bag shut, and I lost 2 fly boxes full of flies. So thank goodness I had more of these olive pheasant tails in another little bag. I get little bags together and I just fill them with nymphs and attractor patterns, and I put them in my bag. And if I didn't have those, I would be home right now. So thank goodness that for some reason I keep that little bag of spare flies in my bag, and that's what I'm working off of right now. And I'm still going with, right now I have a rainbow Y2K up top and this little olive pheasant tail, and that is the one that just pulled in the big boy. All right, stream's filling up with people. Just saw Dawn and his son, they went downstream a little bit. There's a guy up here from me, so I'm gonna go back out. I'm gonna work this water a little bit more and see if I can't pull another fish out of here. Seeing this water is really flowing. If I hook another big one and he takes me downstream, you have to go with the fish sometimes, and you hook a fish like that, I'm not gonna pull him up through all that current. I'm gonna end up snapping my tippet. So I'm gonna point the camera a little bit more down this way. So if I end up hooking another good fish, I can keep most of the fight on video, and I can actually work that fish downstream if I need to. Kind of deceiving. I actually put another tilt on this, and that should be a lot better there. There's another trout. That one right there goes to the Y2K. Look at that. Sun's out now, water's heating up, and the fishing's getting better. Beautiful looking little rainbow. See if I can get them out here and give you a look at them. And you'll see down in his mouth there is the rainbow Y2K. Pretty little fish. And that's it. Came right out. Back in the water he goes. Let's see if we can't hook up with another one. No use leaving right now because there's people all over the stream. If I have a pot of fish, you'll see that. That's another thing. Guess this is a good time to add it. When you're fishing stocked fish, unlike wild fish, a lot of times I've noticed stocked fish, they'll do something we call pod up. They were in a raceway, they were in a hatchery, and they were all together. So they'll share the water, they'll share a spot together. So sometimes you get into a spot where there's a fish, and if you want to get your numbers up and have some fun and hook a lot of fish and try some different flies out, it's a good time to do that. So I may have a pot of fish out in front of me, so I'm going to keep working this area and see if I can't hook some more. I'm doing the tight lining technique to where do you watch your fly line, or do you watch your actual leader?
I watch the fly line.
Okay, I'm watching my leader, and in my leader,
okay,
I have a piece of bright line that I can really see.
Okay, I see. Okay.
And when that bounces, that's sometimes it's the bottom. You can really tell when it's a fish that hits hard. That's when I set the hook. The leader I'm using today is a 6.5 foot quickie lively legs indicator leader, and what's awesome about these leaders is that it already has a tippet ring attached to it, and you can see the sighter line is infused into that leader, and that sighter line is the magic. When you see that sighter line move or bounce when you're following your drift through, that's when you set the hook. You can see it so fast.
Okay.
You know, but that's kind of the It's called like European style nymphing. I put a little sag in the line. I'm not quite a tight liner.
Normally, I'm a dry fly guy.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
You know, that's what I really enjoy doing. Of course, nothing's coming up now, but so I'm not really much into nymphing.
Well, you can have a ball doing about anything.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I had a eagle landed up above me.
That I just saw an eagle flyer. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it was just up around the bend from here.
I just saw one flying right up there.
It could have been the same one.
I got it where I wanted on that cast. It was a hit, just not a fish. But you can, I could see that instantly when that caught that.
Yeah.
It was like no hesitation.
It pulled it down.
Yeah.
Is that a little bit of a strike indicator there too? Or?
No, that's actually one of my flies. I have two flies.
Oh, okay.
That's one up top.
Yeah.
Hopefully that catches their attention, and if they don't grab it, they grab the next one coming through.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually fish a little J here in May.
Beautiful place.
We'll double rig with midges. Oh, there you go.
That's on a disco midge. I told you it's a disco party. I like to change them up to try some different flies.
Okay.
And I knew the olive nymph was working well, so I switched it up.
Okay.
And these ones are taking me right down through. And that's that disco midge.
So is it a bright colored midge or?
I'll show you it here. Let me just get this.
That's like cream and red and black.
So, switch up to the disco midge from the olive pheasant tail because I know I'm going to be catching them on the olive pheasant tail. And the disco midge is another one of those knockout stocky flies. It's another one you have to have in your box if you fish any rainbow trout stocked water. And there it is. You can see that disco midge right in the corner of his mouth. A nice healthy looking 10-inch rainbow trout back in the water. I'm about ready to switch locations now. I've been talking to some different fishermen and see if I can head up water and see if I can get into some more of these with the disco. Okay, just went for a little walk and it is hot today. I had to take off the beanie. Have talked to 4 different group of guys, or people in general, and some nice people out on the stream today. That last spot, I walked away from it when it was hot. Another guy's getting a chance to fish it, which is always, if you catch a couple fish out of an area, somebody's around you. It's always nice to give up that spot. I mean, you did what you're supposed to do there. You caught some fish, go find another spot. But that's the way I look at it. It's been a day of meeting a lot of people. There's a lot of people out and fishing's good. We'll get some casts into this spot. I know it's been hit by several people, but I have on a disco midge. We'll see what it can do. Right off the bat, first cast with the disco midge. One of the guys I was just talking to just left this spot, and they said no good. Sometimes everybody says it's all about the drift, so many other things, but sometimes it's just that particular fly. Actually, that one took the Rainbow Y2K. I'm wrong, but still, it's just that fly. And I saw the fly that man was using, and if you look at it, you don't think it's too much different than the Rainbow Y2K, but let me get this. He's got me all wrapped up. Got the line all over him. Okay. Okay, he had the line all over him there, but there it is. Beautiful looking rainbow. Nice healthy looking 12-inch rainbow. And that's on the Rainbow Y2K. Back out into the deep. And that's all it is. Sometimes it's just these little things, you know, maybe a different colored fly, little longer drift. You'll catch them at the end of your drift. Some guys, they get towards their end of their drift and they're so quick to just pull that fly out of the water. Maybe give it a little flick at the end of the drift and lift it up slowly like something emerging. All these little tricks, they work with wild fish and stockfish, but the combination, that Rainbow Y2K, all those Y2K seem to be golden for us, and I'm a little dirty now. And we'll keep fishing that disco midge till I get a few more fish on it, because I know it's a winner for these stocked fish. It is a winner. All right, Rainbow Y2K didn't let me down. Checked my line real quick. Look at that. I have a knot in my line. I personally do not like that. Anytime I find a knot in my line, I switch it out. So let me do a quick tippet change up, and then I'll be back on the water. All right, as easy as that was, let's see if we can't pull one in on the disco now. Need a little disco play going on. Oh, I missed him. I'm in the tree. I'm gonna see. I just missed a fish here again.
Good.
I'm gonna see if I can get him. Well, that's a little further than I wanted, but
Like I said, it ain't much of a spectator sport unless you're going to catch something.
well, I caught a log. Something big.
Once it starts swimming.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
I've done up in Oak Orchard quite a few times over the years. So to get flies, I just go on live.
It's online, yeah. Lively Legs with the Z.
Yeah.
Send me a
I
little.
live in Freeport.
Oh, I get a lot of orders from the Freeport area. If you get on an order, send me a note that you're the guy that had a cigar in your mouth, but you weren't smoking it. I'll remember you. I'll throw you in a couple bonus flies. I don't want to get back in that.
But one time, it was just like they wouldn't stay off of it.
I have one like that. Yeah, I call it the disco or the crystal midge.
That's what it is. It's a same olive drab.
Yeah.
It only goes down to the shank of the hook there with the bead.
I can't get to that. There he is. I couldn't get to that fish. He hit so close, and I hit the trees on the hook set,
Gotcha.
and that's on that disco midge.
There you go. One I was just telling you.
Now, the one I've done well on
That's
for
a nice fish.
yeah, it's a decent fish, isn't it? For the stockfish, the one I've done on well on is this one. But one day when I was on up north on a stream, I did excellent on that one you were just saying about the crystal midge.
Yeah, I got another one right now.
And sometimes, you know, you have so much confidence in one thing, like this disco
Yeah,
midge.
yep.
I just keep fishing it, but. So here's this guy. So your voice is going to be in the video, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. And this one,
It's that crazy guy with the cigar.
and there it is, another beautiful fish. Disco midge. Get him back out in the water. That one, I don't know how he stayed on. I set the hook and went straight into the tree and instantly put my rod back down like a reflex. I don't want to snap that rod. Long story short, he stayed on, kept the line tight from that point on, and another beautiful rainbow in the net. Well, I just got done fishing and talking to a really nice man named Tony. Decided to move on a little bit and change it up. And I'll show you the flies I changed to. And look what I run into. A brook trout. Beautiful little brookie. Back into the water, and it only makes sense right now. The fly I just pulled him in on was our pink pheasant tail, the LFL pheasant tail. And anybody who follows us, I also put, that is a cream sucker spawn up top. So that's what I switched up from. I know that the disco midge was working, and two other flies that I do absolutely great on outside of the disco midge, the pheasant tails, the Y2Ks are the cream sucker spawn and the LFL pheasant tail. Switched them up, and the good luck has started already. Starting to get a little later in the day, and I'm responsible for getting my kids off the bus. So I'm going to try to get a couple more fish on video, then I'm going to call it a day. Let's see if we can get this LFL to work some more magic. Ooh, got a nice one hooked. Got a nice trout hook. We're in some fast water. You'll get to see the 2-weight working now. I don't think it's as big as the one I caught earlier today, but we are fishing fast water, and I have a nice fish hooked with this 2-weight. the net. Big old plunker on a yellowfell pheasant tail. Look at that guy. Check it out. Got the old Kype hook jaw. That is a nice solid rainbow trout. Another one for the LFL. Okay, let's get this guy released back in the water. And look at that. I'm gonna say thank you to Frank on that one. Frank said, Ben, get over here. This is a good spot right now. He pulled out a nice fish. And he pulled out a few, and then he's talked me into coming over here and trying it for the video. And though Frank has left, that's one of the things. I shared a spot with somebody earlier, Frank shared a spot with me, and that's part of getting out and enjoying the water with people. Like these people, we don't even know each other, but one of the cool things is we were able to get out on the water and enjoy some stories about our families, about fishing, and share a couple spots, and it has worked out. Oh, nice fish hole. I just switched up flies. I put on the Warrior Nymph and I cast right out, and I hook up with what appears to be probably about a, oh no, not quite as nice as I thought, but still a decent fish. Ah, got him in the net. When he first took off, he caught that current seam, and wow, I thought I had another giant hook. But regardless, still a nice fish. Get him out of here. Did the old alligator roll here in my net. Okay. Solid looking fish right there. Once again, put him back in. Once again, I decided to change up to another fly that I do well on for the stock trout. And I'm going to share that fly with you as well right now. And that is one of our benefit flies as well. We just did the LFL benefit fly, and I caught that bruiser. Little hook jaw on him, and then I turn around in my first cast. Let me slow it down there so you can see this beautiful looking nymph. That is the Warrior, and that's another one of our benefit flies right there. And took one cast with that Warrior nymph, and pow, trout came out and grabbed it. Okay, decided to do one more change up before I leave, and I had to put on one of my faithful ones, and that is the sulfur nymph. He's a squirmy one. There he is. Plop back down into the water, and I just wanted to keep not really experimenting, but keep changing up my flies and trying different flies that I know work for stock trout on this video. And that's going to be the last fish of the video. Before I end it, I want to show you this last setup. I went ahead and changed to, this is another good one for stock fish. You know, I'm coming down off of my tippet ring. I have my tippet with my split shot. Then I have my green weenie. That's another good one for stock trout. And about a foot behind my green weenie, that's what I caught that one on, is the Lively Legz sulfur with the yellow legs. And that right there is a phenomenal fly for stock and wild fish. Oh boy, what a great day on the water. And like always, there's a time that you have to go home, and that time is right now. I'd like to thank everybody for following along on this adventure. If you have any questions, comments, email us at livelylegs@gmail.com. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, check out our online site, livelylegs.com, and until next time, best of luck on the water.